Hi Mishra, first of all, insane congratulations.
Thank you.
I don't know if you know this, but you're officially the youngest person to beat a world champion in OTB Classical.
Oh wow!
I don't know if you knew that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I went into this game, actually I played him 2 years ago in Tepe-Sichman, and I actually got a very fighting draw and I drove with black. So I went in this game, I didn't think I was a huge underdog.
Okay.
Like considering the fact that I drew Prague with black yesterday also, that like I felt like I can play good moves, and I'm not, like if I play to my level, I'm at par with these guys. I'm not that far off, and yeah, it was I wanted a very fighting game today, and he allowed this with this bishop g5 Italian. He prepared some stuff. I mean, he played this knight h7. I think this is some preparation. I mean, I found this interesting piece act with d4 at d takes e5.
Yeah.
I think g4 was the first really critical mistake. Like d takes e5, you have to play h4 for sure. Knight takes h4, g takes h4, queen h5. This was my idea, but maybe you go queen e7, bishop takes h4, queen f8, and it's very complicated. And this is what I wanted, some kind of raw calculation fight, which I've been training for.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, he played g4, which was a mistake, and then this was another critical moment on whether I should, because you can also, there are other moves other than e takes d6, so you can play bishop h4. And the thing is, if you go bishop h4, he goes, queen d7, knight d4, and you play some position like this. I feel like white should be better, but it's not going to be like as crushing as e takes d6. But at the same time, like if you go e takes d6 and things don't work out, it's like all or nothing.
Right.
In the end, I just decided to trust my intuition and everything and just play e takes d6. Another thing that aided me was that I played some like blitz games online, and I remember like in one of those blitz games, like in the structure, I had some version of this, like black's king was on g8 or h8, and even there e takes d6, d takes e7 was really good for white. So armed with this information, I spent some time and when I went for it, and it was a good decision, and I was like winning overall. But I played well up to some point, I believe, but then I went knight d4, which was just a horrible move. I mean, I thought like black was going to go rook g8, rook g6 and attack on the king side, but maybe, I mean, objectively it's just, you should just allow this play like b4, rook g8, king h1, and I mean, black does not have enough time to get a proper attack set up, and okay, then you should win the game in short order. But unfortunately, I went knight d4, and I'd missed. He found this, like, he's also a very resourceful player. I mean, he never gives up without a fight. He found this knight f6, and all of a sudden he was back in the game. And okay, I was very frustrated at this point. I played queen f5, got the queens off, went f4, f5, and I think somewhere actually he had ways to simplify the position, but I think he also wanted to beat me, which was actually one thing I was counting on, that like before the game, that there's a lot more pressure on him to let's say perform than me for this game. Like if I lose, like I lose 3 points, like okay, sure, take my rating, it's no problem.
Right.
But if I win, this is like the way how it is, it's a lot more grand.
Right.
So he played all this like rook takes h3 and so on, like I'd say like after the queens got traded, and I found some nice resources like this a4, bishop c5, bishop d4, which was, I got his king into a mating net, and eventually he had to give up a piece with knight takes e5. And I think you were asking yesterday about like whether I after move 40, if I go and like let's say just like mentally reset, and that's exactly what I did today. Like of course after knight takes e5, there's only one move white can play, which is bishop takes e5, rook g5. I'd seen this from like 5 minutes ago, but the thing was I just decided to go to the restroom. I mean, go to the restroom, wash my face, and do all this stuff, drink some water. So I just like mentally reset, because it like that the first time we were told the moves leading up to that, we both were playing on seconds, and like the adrenaline was still like fresh in my body.
Yeah.
So I just decided to get, like mentally reset, and then okay, I play bishop takes e5, rook g5, and I think I found this nice resource with rook d3, king c1, and I think from there I converted pretty cleanly. So overall, it's not a great game like in terms of quality, but I'm very happy to have won this game.
Yeah, I was watching a stream when Move 41 hit, and I heard people say like, wow, like, you know, it's so awesome. He's, you know, got it from the board resetting, and I was able to type in the chat like, yeah, he actually said on the interview yesterday that he does that after every game, or after every, you know, on every 41st move. So yeah, that's awesome. I have a question. Like when you played d takes e5, it felt like you were kind of just pressing the chaos button a little bit. And I know Gukesh had just kind of blitzed out his opening, and you know, so I'm assuming he had prepped it all. So what were you thinking, like going into d takes e5?
Yeah, the thing with d takes e5 was that, I mean, again, when your opponent has preparation like h5 and so on, this is such a very sharp position that, I mean, I decided that I thought d takes e5 was the best move, like period. I mean, maybe I was wrong, but the thing is, I like, regardless of whether it's Gukesh or like if it's anybody. If I think a move is best, like d takes e5, even if it's going chaotic, I will go for it. And that's what I did, and yeah, I mean, that it paid off because he immediately faltered, but I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe there's some other options instead of d takes e5, but I felt like d takes e5 was the more, let's say, practically testing approach, but I mean, maybe, of course, Engine will correct me, I'm sure.
Do you enjoy those more chaotic positions?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, now this is like, especially against such strong players that like, okay, basically, if you take these guys to any like, let's say like classical normal position, of course, like with their experience, they'll know a lot more on how, like, if let's say instead of playing bishop g5 Italian, before playing bishop g5 Italian, I used to play like some rookie bond stuff, and if I just play classical Italian against him, I mean, chances are very small that I'll beat him. But I mean, at the same time, I know that I won't lose, because I also love these structures, but the chances of like success are very minimal. But when you take your opponent to like a deep dark forest, as Mikhail Tal said, where 2 + 2 = 5, this is where the real magic happens.
Right. And then, were you expecting h4, or when he was, thinking for a while? I know the stream I was watching, they're like,
yeah, actually, when
yeah.
he started thinking, I was a bit worried, because that means that d takes e5 was not in his preparation, which means that d takes e5 is not, let's say, one of the top moves. But then, yeah, I mean, I expected h4 for sure. I mean, he played once he played g4, I was a bit shocked, because also, instead of like what I did in the game, I felt like I had other options that keep, let's say, at least an equal position, which, considering this opening, is very, very sharp. And even though like some lines that I had one game against Ronak Sadvani in a very similar bishop g5 Italian, evaluation can go to like -0.5, and you have these insane positions. So seeing like, let's say, more than one option that keeps minimum equality was it was a big relief after g4.
And I know you're on fire this tournament. What are your plans in terms of candidates? Like, do you really want to get the first?
Yeah, no, of course. I mean,
yeah,
okay, if you can win this tournament, this is basically, I mean, this start is a dream come true, and I mean, of course, I'll keep trying my best to play good chess, and if I win this tournament, this will be amazing. And I feel like with my current form, yeah, I mean, I'm at par with the world's best, so we'll see how it goes.
So what are your goals with chess? If you make it to the candidates?
Sure. I mean, if you make it to the candidates, you're not going to go there to participate. You're going to go and try to win the candidates. I mean, of course, it's very easy to say these things, but it's a lot harder to actually do. But of course, if you make it to the candidates, I mean, I'll try my absolute best and try to win the candidates as well. And I mean, of course, like a match against Gukesh would be very fun.
Yeah. Okay, and last question. I know that some of these players, their main #1 overarching goal is just to become world champion, and all their other goals are kind of, just much less. So for you, other than becoming world champion, are there other goals that are up to par with that?
I mean, of course, yeah, world champion is still, like, from where I am, this is still a very, very far journey. My first goal is to reach, let's say, 2700, and I mean, with these games, I'm getting closer and closer. I mean, I think my live is like 2642 or something, which is actually my peak. This is quite nice. But yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, I don't expect, like, as of now, to completely win this tournament outright. I mean, I'm going to keep playing my best, and okay, I mean, Parham is on fire as well. We'll see how it goes. I mean,